From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Deputy Prime Minister Freeland rejects the idea of a secret ballot on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's leadership of the Liberal Party. Last week, 24 members of the Liberal caucus signed a letter calling on the Prime Minister to step down. But he said firmly the next day he will lead the party into the next election.
And in our rules, the leader is not chosen by secret ballot of caucus members. That's just not how Liberals govern themselves. It's not how we do things.
Trudeau's leadership has come into question as the Liberals continue trailing the Conservatives by about 20 points in public opinion polls. A senior government official confirms reports Canada suspects an Indian cabinet minister ordered intelligence gathering efforts on Canadians.
Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister David Morrison told MPs today that he did confirm the name of that cabinet minister to the Washington Post earlier this month. Canada expelled 6 Indian diplomats on October 14th, alleging they were persons of interest in multiple cases of violence and intimidation targeting 6 separatists in Canada. The Washington Post reported Canadian sources alleged that those cases were authorized by Home Affairs Minister Amit Shah. India denies these allegations and insists that Canada has not shared evidence of the crimes. Canadian officials say they have tried to share that evidence. David Baxter, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
The federal government is looking to revoke the charitable status of groups claiming to offer pregnancy counseling, but actually steer patients away from getting abortions. Finance Minister Freeland says it will prevent those who mislead Canadian women being rewarded with taxpayer subsidies. Premier Danielle Smith says Alberta could face a budget deficit with lower than forecast oil prices. Finance Minister Nate Horner says it's too early to say for sure, but it's a challenge the Alberta government is facing.
It'll be a sincere challenge if there isn't an uplift in the overall forecast for oil, coupled with our population growth pressures that we're seeing on the spending side. So too early to say, but we're watching it every day, and it will be a challenge regardless.
Smith says despite a potential deficit, she will go ahead with an already delayed income tax cut that she campaigned on last year. Comedy actress Terry Garr has died at age 79.
Terry Garr's breakthrough role was in 1974 in the Mel Brooks comedy Young Frankenstein. In 1982, she was nominated for an Oscar starring opposite Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie.
You get mad at me?
Well, stop being a doormat then.
I'm not a doormat.
In the late 90s, Garr had a recurring role on Friends as Phoebe's estranged mother.
You know, we were always together.
Since 2002, Garr had suffered from multiple sclerosis. It took her life at the age of 79. Alex Stone, ABC News.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, it's a true must-win situation for the New York Yankees. They need a home win over the LA Dodgers in order to force a 5th game in the World Series. In the NHL tonight, the Montreal Canadiens will have forward Juraj Slafkovsky in the lineup tonight against the visiting Seattle Kraken. He missed the last 3 games with an upper body injury. 6 other games in the NHL schedule tonight include the Ottawa Senators at St. Louis. The Professional Women's Hockey League is looking to expand. The league will soon begin sending requests for proposals and accepting applications. Quebec City and Calgary could be Canadian options. Decathlon world champ Pierce Lepage is still dealing with the low of missing the Paris Olympics while rehabbing.
It's hard to kind of put into words what I felt, but yeah, it sucked. But I was happy to push through as far as I could with the injury.
Lepage suffered a herniated disc back in April and tried to keep going, but it was too much in July. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.